Well, they say one record can change your life, and this one certainly did change mine. My name is Bill Perez, also known as Zero B, producer and seemingly pioneer of the British rave scene. We're talking about Zero B Lockup. It was just a very hedonistic time. It was a good time for music technology and evolution of instruments. But it was just something I got caught up in, the rave scene, the British rave scene. It was the 90s, I was in a northern town, a northern ex-mining town, lots of people on the dole. But I just started going out and doing these big raves, just playing my keyboards and making this music. It was very hedonistic. Well, there was a lot of drugs involved, I won't say there wasn't. There's lots of different influences coming in, and it was just taking all that and putting in this kind of warehouse style. And it was just kind of making stuff in my bedroom, coming back from these big raves, kind of spending Sunday making these tunes, much to the detriment of my neighbours, I would have thought at the time. So, there's a blast from the past. Lockup was made in my bedroom in my parents' house. So I had a little sort of setup in the corner where I had the W30 and these things in a rack. It was just lots of buffeting in the bedroom, really. So just hours and hours just playing around, just trying to get the presets you wanted. Hands in the air bit, I was going to sort of warehouse parties like Butterloggy and stuff, and it was trying to find the sounds. It would sound amazing in that space and just go, ooh, what's that? When you heard it. So, and that kind of still works today, I think. W30, yeah, this is kind of the boy in its day. Amazing machine, used by the Prodigy, used by a lot of old school artists, really. And I think my dad was the guarantor. And I bought it, and he was like, "Why do you want to buy a car or something? Why am I guaranteeing a keyboard?" I was just like, "I need this. This has got to be in my life." And I knew I wanted the sound of kind of Chicago, and I wanted that Detroit techno sound. When this came along, I could then just lift those sounds individually from records. I could get the right kick drums and the right snare drums and start making tracks. They're very limited, and I think that limitation is that's where the sound comes from. That's where the old rave sound comes from, definitely. I mean, the actual tune Lockup, I'd used the studio just for the DAT machine because I didn't have a DAT machine. And there's 4 tunes on an EP. I'd forgotten the discs for the 4th tune. So I had these other discs with me, and one of them happened to have this tune Lockup on. And then we decided to put it down on vinyl, and the rest is history, really. The moment for me was we were driving to do a gig in Heaven in London. I'd never really experienced the culture. My tune came on Kiss FM. But I thought it was a cassette machine, so I'm trying to take the cassette out. I was like, I don't want to listen to my own music. And then the announcer came over and said, "Oh, this week's #1 dance tune is Lockup Zero B." I was just like, what the fuck, Okay, so I guess this is blowing up more than I think it is, really. This guy I met in Scotland, who become my manager, John McLennan, he wanted to sign me to London Records. It seemed like a massive deal at the time, and it kind of was, because he got a major publishing deal, but it ended up being not a good place to sign, because they didn't really understand the rave scene or where we come from. So I'd much rather have gone with this label XL at the time. They took the Prodigy and they were exploding. I just didn't have a clue. I was naive, really clueless at the time, but it was good, because they would put out a record and it went top 40, and I was just like, wow, that's quite mad. So Shadow Child basically hit me up on Facebook, and he just asked me if he could remix. And then I kind of looked into what he was doing, and he'd already done expansions, and he'd already done SL2, and I thought, well, hold on a minute, this is something different, because these are the original guys. The remixes I've heard so far seem to be really good. They seem to capture the original style of the music, so I'm quite happy for them to do it. So it's nice to be done with something with a bit of passion. A lot of people come up to me still at gigs and stuff like that when I'm kind of doing live sound, go, oh, I love that track, and it's just, oh, it's just my little track, So yeah, so no, I didn't realise it would still, all these 20 odd years later, that people still love the track. If my tune is associated with the history of a subculture in UK music, that's great. I'm really happy about that, So that's a legacy, So.